YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I know y'all gonna see me in a different hat every day, so it's the one and only PC engineering, PC beats, problem child productions, all of that. Today I just want to touch base on a little segment, which is very important when you want to start the mixing process, and we're basically going to talk about EQing. So that's equalization, using the equalizer, however you would, whatever term you want to use, making stuff clear basically. And basically I just want to kind of go over like the getting an understanding of EQing and how to use it, and how to go about it with the human voice, because it does fit in a certain frequency. So guys, that's what we're going to cover today. Quick and easy. Hopefully this will help you out with your mixing, and definitely hit me up for any kind of tips or any questions on anything. And again, this is just how I go about mixing, so hopefully my techniques will help you. If it don't, hey, you got a ton of other people on YouTube you can search up, but I've been doing this for many years, so y'all, I think I know what I'm talking about. All right, but anyway, let's get started. All right guys, so before we begin, I mean, it's really important to kind of really understand how these frequencies work, and what they look like and all that good stuff, when it's compared to the voice. I will say this: most voices pretty much range between 80 hertz and 16 kilohertz for the most part, and usually the important frequencies usually are in between the range of 200 hertz and about 4 kilohertz. So that's like generally the area that you really mainly want to focus on, to make sure there's no unwanted frequencies in there. So you might want to take some out or brighten some up. So now I do want to show you what what all I just said looks like visually, and I'll use this ozone equalizer just so you can physically see the frequency.
Thinking to myself, where did we go wrong? We were so close, our bond unbreakable.
So as you can see,
I used to say I wouldn't listen
pretty much,
to what other people
anything
say,
pretty much,
but the stories and the lies about
around like 150
it's got me thinking,
and back this way is not needed. So as you can see, the most important peaks are usually between like that, about that 200 all the way up to about almost 6K, to be honest. So pretty much just general area. All right, so that's usually the area that you want to focus on. And just to kind of show you, and normally I don't use that EQ in particular. I usually go with the Q8 by Waves, and just because it just gives me 8 bands for the most part. I usually start from pretty much about like the 200 range, and I go ahead and enable that. Now what I usually will do is go ahead and increase the gain, probably about like 9 or so. If I need more, that's cool, but right now we're basically, what I want to do is find the unwanted frequencies and take them out. So that's basically subtractive EQing. So that's what we're doing right now. And what you want to do is do a sweep of the frequencies to see what doesn't sound right and just dip it out. So right now I increased the gain on that certain band,
thinking to myself, where did
and you can hear the difference when I turn it off, normal,
we were so close, our bond unbreakable,
and I increased that 250 frequency.
I used to say I wouldn't listen.
Makes it sound a lot more nasally,
but the stories and
almost kind of muddy.
In the long night.
So again, increase a little bit more and narrow the Q, just so you can narrow that cone a little bit, because I kind of want to fine tune these frequencies when I sweep, or fine comb I should say. Yeah, now let's just go ahead and do a sweep. And what you'll do is just go back and forth and listen to those frequencies that just sound kind of ugh, and just, you know, take them out. So
thinking to myself, where did we go wrong? We were so close, our bond unbreakable. I used to say I wouldn't listen to what other people say, and I just did some. But the stories and the lies about working late in them long nights, it's got me thinking.
and if you're not really hearing it, increase your gain a little bit more.
Thinking to myself, where did we go wrong? We were so close, our bond unbreakable. I used to say I wouldn't
So I found a little,
to what other
this little
people say,
area
and I
around 261, making it sound real nasty. So again, what I'll do once I've locked onto it, go ahead and turn that gain down. I usually don't go no more than negative 6 dB, but again, you're just dipping that, not what we just located,
thinking to myself,
that nasty little sound, and just dipping it out.
We were so close, our bond unbreakable. I used to say I wouldn't listen to what
and then you pretty much just follow the steps, just perform these sweeps so you can take these unwanted frequencies out. So again, same steps, increase the gain, narrow the cone on it, and do a sweep.
Thinking to myself, where did we go wrong? We were so close, our bond unbreakable.
And of course, increasing the gain a lot is gonna exaggerate any kind of frequency for the most part. So like I said, turn it down a little bit if you know, trying to get some more accurate frequency readings.
Thinking to myself, where did we go wrong? We were so close, our bond unbreakable. I used to say I wouldn't listen to what other people say, and I just did some. But the stories and the lies about working late in them long nights, it's got me thinking.
So I don't like this little area around here, around 496, so I'm gonna take that out. And again, just so you can hear how that sounds.
Thinking to myself, where did we go wrong? We were so close, our bond unbreakable.
Just got a unwanted nasally sound in there, so dipping it out.
Thinking to myself, where did we go wrong? We were so close, our bond unbreakable.
And let's go on to the next frequency. This is around 1K, starting to enter into that area. So let's see what it has in here that I don't like. So boost it up, narrow the cone.
Thinking to myself, where did we go wrong?
Turn this down a little bit because I know this is really exaggerated.
Thinking to myself, where did we go wrong?
Do a sweep.
We were so close, our bond unbreakable.
So not much in this area, maybe one little spot.
Thinking to myself, where did we go wrong? We were so close, our bond unbreakable.
Like right there, that's about it. And I'm like I said, just go ahead, dip it out.
Thinking to myself, where.
Then usually once I take care of pretty much like, you know, that mid-range frequency area, almost kind of like your low mid, barely touching like your high mids a little bit. I then usually go back to your lows and again do a sweep.
Thinking to myself, where did we go wrong?
So as you can tell, it doesn't really pick up a lot of low frequencies in regards to this female artist's voice, because of course it doesn't have, you know, her voice doesn't have a lot of low frequencies such as a male's voice. So I don't really have to worry too much about the lows on this too much. Possibly do a low pass. Just pretty much anything under 100 just to clear that space. So we'll go to this frequency, turn it on. Now change that frequency band type to a low pass. Yep.
Everything you said to me,
and you can hear if I dramatically, took away all that low frequency, even all the way to the mids.
Thinking to myself, where did we go wrong?
So like I said, it's just good really to have a good ear, because every scenario is not going to be the same when it comes to different people's voices. So you're definitely just going to have to keen in to that particular voice to find certain frequencies.
Thinking to myself, where did we go wrong?
But I like that right
we
here, about 100.
We were so close, our bond unbreakable.
Just to clear up any unwanted low end if needed. Now you can perform some boost in the high frequency areas, such as usually within like that 2K area.
Thinking to
and just to show you,
where did we go wrong?
It'll greatly enhance.
We were so close, our bond unbreakable.
If you do a little sweep, you'll hear the difference.
I used to say I wouldn't listen to what other people say, and I just did some. But the stories and the lies about working late.
Now we're starting to get into that 8K range. Now we're starting to get into that 4K range. That's usually where you'll start to get a lot of sibilants and, S's and all of that type of sounds. So you definitely want to be a little bit careful in this area, although this does definitely give a lot more clarity to your vocal frequency as well.
Thinking to myself, where did we go wrong? We were so close, our bond unbreakable.
So you can hear kind of like just this area, pretty much within 2K and up. So really nothing there in this area. So you just don't want to mess with that too much. But that clarity area is around that 2K to 4K area.
Don't leave me. But it's been one too many lies. And now
so just giving it a slight little boost.
It's sad to say you're not the guy I wanted you to be.
You can leave your bell. You can leave your type open if you want. I usually do bells, so it doesn't affect too much of the frequencies. But in this case, I'll leave that open so it enhances all those frequencies after 4K.
It's got me thinking.
Just so you hear the difference. So when you get in that area and you're starting to hear those S's and it's kind of painful to the ear, that's when you know you've gone too far. So just bring it back down. Again, this is just the early stages of EQing, so you're going to be doing a lot more plugins on this where things will get saturated, so you'll probably have to do some more enhancing on EQing. So again, this is just like the first step.
Thinking to myself, where did we go wrong?
So I pretty much like this, setting right now for her voice. It just definitely gives me a little bit more clarity on the vocal, and I'll do pretty much like a on and off to see if you hear any difference. It's not going to be dramatic, but it is shaping the frequency right now currently, so it will fit in a lot better with your beat.
Thinking to myself, where did we go wrong?
So this is bypass.
We were so close, our bond unbreakable.
Turn it on.
I used to say I wouldn't listen to what other people say, and I just did some.
Off.
But the stories and the lies about working late in the long nights, it's got me thinking.
So definitely can hear a lot more of the high end S's. So I'm gonna just turn that down a little bit. And matter of fact, turn it to a bell so that way.
Thinking to myself, where did we go wrong?
And I'm gonna put a compressor on here just for the hell of it right now. So pretty much without it on it,
But it's been one too many lies.
Without it.
And now it's one too many times. It's time to say you're not the guy.
So, like I said, not a dramatic difference, but it's is actually really helping in the long run when you play it with your beat, because your beat is going to have a lot of low frequencies in, and you don't want to clash them with your voice. So let's hear it with the beat.
Thinking to myself, where did we go wrong? We were so close, our bond unbreakable. I used to say I wouldn't listen to what other people say, and I just did some. But the stories and the lies about working late in the long nights, it's got me thinking.
So that's pretty much, it when it comes to the EQing. It's no difficult task. Like I said, you're finding those frequencies that you don't like and just taking them out for the most part. So, and again, you're gonna, if you're enhancing some of that higher mids and range frequencies, yeah, you're gonna have some of those S's, but you can always knock those out with a simple de-esser that will easily fix those problems. You can do it at this point in the stage, but I usually wait till a little bit later once I've EQ'd all the vocals, and I usually route it to an aux, so I can just basically de-ess all the vocals at once. But just for example, pretty much go into the Waves de-esser, or most other DAWs have some kind of de-esser plugin. And basically, I'm just gonna go to female S, little preset. So it's basically judging around that, 6K frequency range.
Thinking to myself, where did we go?
And then you just turn down the threshold.
We were so close, our bond unbreakable.
So when the red is appearing, it's showing that it is working. It's basically, de-essing those high sibilance areas. And
thinking to myself, where did we go wrong?
That's why now you don't really hear it, and it's not too painful to the ear to listen to now.
Thinking to myself, where did we go wrong?
And you don't want to overdo it either, because if you go too far, it'll take away the quality of your audio, as you can see. So you kind of want to find like a good little range.
We were so close, our bond unbreakable.
I feel like
I used to say I wouldn't listen to what
about
other
right here.
people say, and I just did some. But the stories and the lies about working late in the long nights, it's got me thinking. Everything you've said to me.
So there you go. Basically, we just cleaned up the vocal a little bit with some simple EQing. The next stage usually is compression, but I'll get into that on another segment. All right, guys, there you have it. Real simple, real easy. Again, EQing is very important, so definitely don't skip that step. It is very important when it comes to the mixing process. But again, guys, let me know what else you want to see. I got you, and I'll see y'all guys on the next segment, man. All right, tune in. And guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, I'm trying to get this channel back up and running, so we getting there.